I'm Paul Gatling. We appreciate you tuning in today. I'm joined by Dr. Luo-Branch. She is an architectural artist, has a PhD in urban planning, is a GIS analyst with the State Economic Development Commission, and is the founder and president of the Arkansas Association of Asian Businesses. Dr. Branch, it's good to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, so thanks for being here. Some business brought you to Northwest Arkansas recently, a couple of workshops at the World Trade Center, Arkansas. We'll get to that a little later, but first just give us some of your background. You've lived in Arkansas about 5 years. What brought you to the U.S. and then what brought you to Arkansas?
Well, thank you for asking that. Actually, this month is my 9th year anniversary of being in the U.S.
Okay, happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. So what brought me to the U.S. in the first place was for school. So I graduated from architecture school in China and then was admitted directly into a PhD program at Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. Okay. And then I got my PhD in urban planning there and also a master's in sociology. So that was just the academic career there, and taught a little bit at the architecture school. And then I just felt it would be beneficial for me to step out of the university environment to be working in the real world.
Right.
Yeah, so I got my first job in Arkansas, so that's what brought me to Arkansas. So,
okay, wonderful. Yep. About 5 years ago?
About 5 years ago. That was a snowy day. I drove my car and moved everything in one car to from Texas to Arkansas.
Did you have any preconceived ideas about Arkansas, much maybe like you had Texas? Any idea of what to expect when you got here?
That's a very good question. So I tend to be very naive about where I'm going. I'm very optimistic, but very naive. When I first came to the U.S., my first stop was New York City. So I thought, okay, the whole U.S. is like the New York City. And then I landed in West Texas. It changed my perspective.
Right, a little bit different.
Yeah. Yes. So by the time I was moving to Arkansas, I had no the image of what Arkansas is like. I was just happy to get a job. So I was just excited to get my eyes open, and for sure it turned out to be a really good journey.
Right, now it's home, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, very good. Well, you're one of the lucky ones who are able to take something that you love, like a hobby, and turn it into something that you work. You like to draw. You're a trained illustrator, which fits perfectly with your job as a GIS analyst with the AEDC. You make maps.
Yes,
right. So
exactly.
kind of describe your job. What do you do with the AEDC?
Yes, that's another good question. So I was trained as an architect and urban planner. So since I wasn't, it will be very hard for me to be licensed as an architect in the U.S. because I was foreign trained. So I just looking for ways to still utilize my experience in the built environment. So GIS, which stands for Geographic Information System, became a really good fit for me. So what it does is put the spatial data and make maps. So in plain word is just making maps and put it in digital format or print format. So what I do for AEDC's prime function is to attract investment. So for site selectors to come to Arkansas or compare Arkansas with other candidate states for their company, they want to know everything about the land, the workforce, just be very informed before they make the decision. So what I do is provide that kind of information, which usually is very dry to look at on spreadsheet, or it's just impossible to look at it with a recognition of the spatial context. So I put all of them on the map for it's easy to present and in a way that's relevant to their request.
Right, it's the evolution of data.
Yes.
You went from the paper, then to Excel spreadsheets, and now this spatial illustration that you're talking about.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And I would suspect that also you get to involve your training as an urban planner as well, and rely on that education.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
So discuss the launch of the AAAB, the Arkansas Association of Asian Businesses, kind of the first Asian associated business of its kind in Arkansas. Why did you do that? What is the goal? What's your mission?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So the association was launched last year, June last year, so we are 1 year old.
Okay.
Yes, we're brand
Another
new.
anniversary.
Yes,
Happy anniversary.
yes, thank you. So there's threefolds, I would say, to that the goal or the mission or the purpose of the association. One is, as an immigrant myself, I feel I personally have a need to explore professionally in Arkansas, and I see a lot of people like myself immigrated from China or India or just many different countries in Asia. There is no professional platform for them to get together, to network, to talk about their professional life in Arkansas. So that's one fold to serve people like myself. The second is just in the past 8 months or so, I went to China a couple of times with several companies. So I experienced firsthand of the challenges they face.
Right. So what are those challenges, and what are you wanting this group to do?
Cross-culturally. So it mainly comes from the cross-cultural background, because these companies didn't have training in this cross-cultural setting in business. So I feel these are just a sample of all the Arkansas companies, and maybe there are many other companies have the similar needs. So our association can provide this kind of workshop that we had yesterday at the World Trade Center to provide educational sessions for these Arkansas companies that want to have an adventure with Asia. So the third fold for the mission of our association is to help bridging foreign investments to get situated in Arkansas. So through working at AEDC, I had the opportunity to interpret in business meetings when Chinese companies come. So I feel there's quite a bit understanding cross-culturally in business that people like myself could help. So why I started this is I feel I can add value, but only myself is not enough. I feel it takes a village, and everybody can add some kind of value. So it's just a forum to bring people together.
Right. And how has the forum grown for the past year?
Yeah. Well,
are you pleased with the response you've got?
Yes, yes. So I felt it was a great timing for the organization to get started. People are eager to participate, become members, come to our workshop to network, because there was none in the States. So this is our first platform for that subject. So we find we have a very sweet niche for this subject.
Right. Well, under the current circumstances of our current trade landscape, i.e. the tariffs, trade wars, whatever you want to call it, is this still a good time to be thinking of doing business between Arkansas and Asia?
Well, that's a very good question. So tariffs, to my understanding, is only in certain industries. So there's, I think it's a great timing. Just if we step back and have a broader perspective, globalization is here anyway. So this kind of temporary, I would like to think it's temporary bumps along the road. It's gonna happen, but it doesn't we shouldn't stop thinking globally. So maybe if companies have slowed down on their relationship with Asia because of the tariff, but this could be a good time to learn to through our workshop and cultivate the relationship with their partners and then still keep that going.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, one other thing I did want to mention, I left off your resume, also published author. You've written, or I guess co-authored a book.
Yes.
The Art of Place in Arkansas. Tell us about that.
So that's actually the art exhibition called The Art of Place in Arkansas, and I did co-author a book called Community Development or Destination Community Development.
Okay.
Yes, with my former work supervisor. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah. Any plans in the future? Working on anything right now? Any other books?
Yeah, well, I'm expecting my first child this year, so that I'm anticipating that to be quite an undertaking. So
another congratulations then.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I'm excited about people, about places, about community, about business development. So that it all ties into my passion.
Well, very good. All right. Dr. Yang Luo-Branch is the State Economic Development Commission GIS analyst and the founder of the Arkansas Association for Asian Businesses. Great to meet you. Thanks very much.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Come back to see us.
I will.
All right. As usual, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm Paul Gatling. We'll see you next time.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.